Hello, we are listening in. Just listened to an absolute banger from an artist that Jesse brought named Vincent. So if you have not checked that out, it's on our channel. Go check it out. If you're watching this live, sorry, you didn't need that. You just listened to it with us. It was great. It's my song next. We are sharing music today that we want to share. We're also celebrating Pride Month, as you can tell by the lots of rainbows happening. In my opinion, every month is Pride Month, but we'll take June too. Cool. So, my artist is named Chloe Ho. She is a Singaporean indie pop singer-songwriter, and her 2019 song, Here's to Coming Out, has seen some success with over 2.6 million streams on Spotify and added to a bunch of Pride Month playlists. Good for her. That's awesome. But to be honest, I don't actually know very much about her. She's self-proclaimed bad at social media, so she barely posts, and when she does, it's often videos from live performances and that kind of thing. And most of her live performances that I could find on YouTube don't really include very much talking. She kind of finishes a song and she's like, well, the next song is, and then she plays the next song. It's very endearing, actually. I think that she's pretty young, if I were to be guessing anything. Anyway, I couldn't find any interviews either, but that might be because the search results are flooded by interviews with a visual artist of the same name who's very well known. I tried to do my due diligence and I hit a bunch of dead ends, but still, I was won over by Chloe's soothing voice and easygoing style from the first time I heard her a few years back, and I knew that I wanted to share a song of hers with you all. This is going to be a very different vibe from the last one, so brace yourselves for that. Today, we're going to listen to her most recent release from February 2022, a song titled Not Like This.
Is this what you're looking for? The type of bliss better than before. Oh, it seems so easy to love than to leave me, so I'll just stay behind your door. But am I all you want and more? Oh, you would better be sure, 'cause I'm diving in head first and assuming the worst that could happen till I get bored. But all I could think of was your hand in mine, and if I could keep them warm all of the time, so you are the only one that I could ever adore. But I played too hard to get it, you got ignored, so you gave your heart away to be destroyed. Say you are the only one that I could ever adore. But you don't wanna say goodbye. You just want a goodnight kiss. Well, I want a type of love that doesn't exist. Oh, I wanna love you, just not like this. You're not like this, baby. Just not like this, baby. Yeah, tell you what it's like. I wanna love where you can't sleep, but I'm not by your side. A love that keeps me cool and gets me tongue-tied. A love that shows me all of those things that you hide. Yeah. Those are the things that I like and I love, but it's so easy to leave me and put me to blame. Yeah, it's so easy to blame me like I'm some damn game. Yeah, is that the reason you came? Ooh, yeah, is that the reason you came? 'Cause all I could think of was your hand in mine,
Did you like this? Ah.
Yes.
That was an easy one. I didn't even see it coming either. That's I'm disappointed in myself.
That's all right.
But I'm not disappointed in the song.
Good,
Very not disappointed.
as you should not be.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, first impressions, I was like, wow, this is a nice, fun little bossa nova sort of thing going on. Like, this is cool. This is cool. And then, I'm guessing we get like a double verse at the beginning. I mean, not a double verse, but we get a verse into another verse. The second verse, I found was very interesting because, I wasn't expecting the drop to happen where it I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's the same like elements of the first verse, but it's not as like vintage sounding. Like it sounds more produced. I thought that was so cool because like the vibe of the first verse in the beginning, like it sounding like so like old and like dusty, I guess. I thought that was going to be the vibe of the whole song. I thought it was just going to be like this really nice vibey sort of vintagey retro sound, but then it changed to this more modern production. I thought that was such a neat way to do a drop without it being a technical drop in a way. So I thought that was really cool. It's like the drum sounded more cleaner, had more oomph. You know, the whole like vintagey sort of like static stuff was gone. I thought it was such a neat little, you know, song device sort of thing. It was so cool. And then we get to the pre-chorus where it just like the bossa nova's gone, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then the chorus happens, and I'm like, where am I? What's happening? Like I was, this song was blowing my mind. It was just going places and going places, and each turn I was like not expecting where we were going. I was like, yeah, this is a fun bossa nova song, and then I was like, oh, that's not the song. It was crazy.
Not only the song, at least.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
song
not
is not
only-
only a fun bossa nova song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
super cool.
I love, and I think as I've been listening to it to bring today, I've noticed the production of it more and more, whereas before it was just like I'm just vibing. And one thing I noticed is that you get that really fun drum fill for a second, going into the post-chorus hook. I don't know what type of what song type part that is, but then not like this baby part, right? You get into that, but then at the end it doesn't do the drum fill, and that's pulled way back again. The like hook post-chorus part is pulled way back, so it's almost not even consistent within its own parts of the song, which is really fun.
I was listening for that because like that was something that really made me smile. Was that conga like did like they she did a I don't whatever that is on the drum sound. That's so unusual. But there's so many little just fun noises that are thrown in there. I think something that's interesting to me is that like to me the vocal presence was a little lower than I think most songs are. That like the instrumentals were kind of a lot higher in the mix, but then that kind of allowed it to emphasize all these fun things that are happening in the song.
Yeah, I think that is definitely true, that it's much lower vocally. And you know, I'm thinking about it and I feel like some of her other songs don't have that kind of mix to it. I don't know if it's just the producer that she worked with on this song, or a choice that they made to allow some of that those twists and turns to really shine, because her delivery doesn't vary very much. She's pretty, I don't want to say mumbly because that sounds bad, but I say it with love. Like she's kind of a grit teeth type singer. Her mouth doesn't really open more than this most of the time. And so you don't get this like big range in her vocals of the way that she's delivering something. It's very chill, and that's really nice, but it definitely allows the production, I think, to shine a little bit more.
Yeah, I think this whole idea of like inconsistency that we're talking about in terms of like structure and elements going on with the song, like you were talking about like the drum fill and things like that. Like I think like that's kind of the identity of this song, which is super cool because like um I got like we were talking about like how like the drum fill, but also the just the the overall journey of the song where it's like it starts off bossa nova and then we get to the chorus where it's very not bossa nova, but like I think this applies to like the whole song because like nothing ever like really repeats ever, like besides like maybe the lo-fi sort of bossa nova thing does come back, but like the like the real cool like trap inspired drop comes back for the bridge but not for the outro chorus. So like there really isn't like a consistent repeating thing that ever happens in the song, and I absolutely love that. Like literally from start to finish, you are not going to get something again the entire way through other than maybe the lo-fi little bossa nova thing. You get that a little bit in the like the first verse after the first chorus. So the second time we come back to the verse. But anyways, I thought that was like super cool. Like this whole idea of like everything is pretty much new territory for the most part. Or if you're looking out for something to come back, like you're not gonna get it, you know? Or at least you're not gonna get it in the same way because again, you get that like really cool drop for the bridge, and the next time we get the chorus, it's totally not there. You get this very chill outro chorus, which was really cool. Which I guess is like what you were describing as the hook. I don't know. I call it the chorus because she's repeating the name of the song. So, yeah.
Yeah, and which is really the way I like it in terms of bossa nova. That like for me, bossa nova I like more in concept than in execution. A lot of times, if it's just like a purely bossa nova song, I get kind of bored. It's just like, oh, this is chill. But if this is what I have to pay attention to, I'm just kind of like, could be more going on. But with this, it's like, oh, surprises, noises, fun, and then the whole, it felt like a spectrum along the song that kind of peaked at the bridge and kind of like curved off again for the outro of like production and trappiness and although for the bridge, after the bridge, the outro, I really enjoyed the sort of stadium rock drums, douche, douche, douche.
Yeah.
Those are really fun.
I was really surprised to see the producer on this is Youis, all one word, all caps. I don't know if that's actually how you say it or not. They only appear to have 3 songs released. They have 2 under their own name, and this one, I went to their Instagram, and those are the only 3 that they have listed. Okay. So I don't know if they're just a new producer or if it's like a pseudo. I don't know anything about them. But I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed the production on this song to see that they didn't have more titles to their name. So that's somebody else to look out for.
Yeah, I was actually really interested as to who produced this because I was looking. I was like, who produced this? And I was doing some research on my own. I couldn't find anything because I was listening to this and I was like, this kind of reminds me of Sean Wasabi a little bit, tiny bit. So I thought maybe it was him. So I was like, did she work with Sean Wasabi? I figured like that would be somewhere, but I couldn't find anything.
I would love a Sean Wasabi, Chloe Ho collaboration.
So
that would be great. She's got the voice for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would work really well.
Make it happen.
The other song from Chloe that I really love, she doesn't have a lot of music out, is called Raincoat, and it's with another producer. I think on Spotify she's listed as featured, but on YouTube Music she's listed as a co-lead artist. So I don't know what the intent was there. But Kieran Lee, K-I-E-R-O-N space L-E-E, is the producer on that one, and I feel like that actually has like kind of a similar vibe with a little more R&B to it, which is another really great vibe for her voice. But there's a live version. I'm going somewhere with this that's relevant. There's a live version that she raps a verse, and the rap verse didn't make it into the final song. But as I was learning more, I found out that she's inspired somewhat by Mac Miller, and so she really likes to work in rap verses to her music. And I feel like we don't get a true like rap verse in this song itself. We get the second verse, I think, I'm calling the second verse. It's the first verse that happens after the chorus, post-chorus
right.
hook, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
That's like we get kind of like rap-ish singing there,
Mm.
rap singing, speak singing. I don't quite know what you would call it. But yeah, it's a cool thing to look out for from her is her rapped verses because that raincoat one was so good, and I was like, why is this not in the original, in the real song? It would be so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think pulling from Mac Miller is such a great influence, a great choice because I feel like they kind of like match each other's energy very well. I love Mac Miller's very kind of like vibey, kind of like low energy but very like impactful sort of style. So I can see her being able to like really learn a lot from, you know, things that she hears from him. So I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was surprised
What?
at her
You
lack
good?
of accent. When you, 'cause I assumed she was American, just by the way she was saying, which it's not uncommon for people in other places to be able to mimic an American accent when they sing. It's kind of the default, but the Singaporean accent is a very strong accent. Like most of the people from Singapore that I know like retain it well past, you know, most other people, which is fine. I love accents, but I have a cousin who is in Singapore who I have a very hard time understanding when we talk, and we're speaking English, and English, like Singaporean English, is the only language that they speak, but accent's very strong, and so the fact that like I couldn't pick it up at all just by listening was I thought like at least a mental note. Yeah.
She definitely speaks with a Singaporean accent, or in more of the Singaporean English. It always feels so weird. I guess we say American accent too. Anyway, she always speaks with a Singaporean accent. I think that maybe the mumble singing is also helping to hide some of that in a way. That like at some point, if you're not opening your mouth beyond this and your teeth are always kind of grit, like it's pretty accent free no matter how you sing. So I think that might be a part of it. That's not absolutely zero hate to that. I love that style of singing, and it's not. I know some people don't, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that though. You're right.
I think it's kind of interesting that we got on the topic of accent, and I don't know if this is if I can attribute this to accent or lack thereof. But I did have a couple of like, what's the word? Mondegreen? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Where it's like you think you're hearing something, but it's not what you're hearing.
Oh, I don't know. What did you think you were hearing?
I'm gonna put the word in the chat. Mondegreen. But there were a couple of lyrics that happened in the song while I was listening that I thought is what I was hearing. But then when I read the lyrics, I was like, "Oh, I was wrong. That's
one of those.
That's not what I'm hearing."
It is
Yes.
possible that the lyrics are wrong
Oh, okay. So
because their music match is the only place I could find them, and those are user submitted.
Oh, okay. Well, the two that I ran into, and I'm glad that you know, we had the lyrics that possibly I might be wrong here. The first one was at the very beginning. The first two lines is this what you're looking for? A type of bliss better than before. I thought it was, is this what you're looking for? A type of blues better than before. I thought she was talking about like the blues. Yeah, but for some reason I heard it as blues for some reason.
Bliss.
So I didn't pick up on bliss until I read the lyrics.
That's a hard word to say without opening your mouth, so maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the second one, which I feel like was definitely very, very off the mark, and it makes more sense when I read the lyrics, and I'm pretty sure the lyrics are correct on this. But for some reason, in the what I call the chorus, but it's probably the pre-chorus, is when she says, "But you don't want to say goodbye, you just want a goodnight kiss." For some reason, I don't know why. To me, it sounded like, "But you don't want to say goodbye, you just want to get naked."
Okay, so I honestly heard the same thing
Okay.
every time I've heard it.
Okay.
Um,
I thought like maybe it's like this person, you know, is just probably like looking for like a, you know,
I
physical
definitely heard
connection.
the same thing and
Yeah.
didn't put together the lyrics say something different. So maybe it's both.
Both.
Maybe it's one of those times that an artist is
Yeah.
like, I need to be kind of careful with the way that I say this for certain
Yeah.
audiences. That's possible,
Yeah.
right?
So those were the Mongreens that I was experiencing in this song.
Huh. My mind's blown now because I've definitely heard I just want to get naked too.
Yeah.
Or you just want to get naked. And I was thinking, but I was interpreting it the same way. And I feel like in some ways the song is saying the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
the story that they're talking about does seem like that's something that the person that they're talking about probably would be about. So,
Mm.
yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll have to talk with Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe, if you happen to watch this, please tell us what
Yeah.
the lyrics actually are. We like them
Please.
either way.
Yes.
There's no wrong answer, but there is a right answer. And only you have it.
I like how German in the chat was like, "My life is a Mongreen." That just
Relatable.
that just cracks me up.
I don't even know my own lyrics.
Jeremy also said he imagines listening to this in a cafe or on a date or something like that.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, lyrically, not great date
Yeah.
music. But Raincoat, much better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the song itself definitely has, like, quiet cafe vibes.
Mhm.
I think I made a playlist once. It was like, if I owned a cafe, this is the playlist I would play in it. I think I have this on it.
Uh-huh.
So, same vibe.
Mhm.
Although maybe not if the lyrics are, you just want to get naked. I'll have to think more about
Right.
that.
Yeah, but I feel like when I do listen to like those kind of like cafe playlists on like streaming services, I feel like some of the songs that are like very chill and relaxed, like they do have like, you know, kind of like lyrics that are, you know, maybe
A
not
little risque.
yeah, a little risque and things like that. So I feel like maybe it's not too uncommon.
That's fair.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to listen to your playlist. Maybe it's more curated in a fashion that is actually just about chill vibes and not about, you know, weird situations that might not apply for a chill cafe evening or
I should make a
or day.
cafe playlist that is only songs about coffee and tea.
Right, yeah.
I'll work on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
can think
whoever
of
works
two,
there would
so-
love that.
In this scenario, it's me, so you
Okay.
know.
All right.
All 2 songs on repeat.
Mm.
But yeah, other than that, I think like my last little takeaway with this song was this song is just an absolute journey. Like I remember that feeling that I got where I listened to the song, took that whole journey. I was like, whoa, that was incredible. Like it was just so many twists and turns. And then I listened to it again for my lyric listen, and when I was hearing like the like really lo-fi bossa nova stuff, I was like, wow, like I can't believe that this song goes so many places and it starts like so quaint here, you know, like it was like almost like everything was like flashing before my eyes, or I guess my ears, and I was like just really impressed. I was like that first listen like was like so naive. Like I look back at you know first listen Alexis, and I'm thinking like, oh, you don't know, you sweet summer child. And like it's one of those things that's like, you know, when you experience like a really good movie or like a really good video game, and it's like, man, I wish I could experience it for the first time again. This is like that in song form. It feels like I'm never going to have that first time experience, and that's not a bad thing, but that first experience of not knowing where it goes was like really, really cool. And now when I listen to the song and hear like the first opening notes, like that rush that I get of like, this is like such a quaint beginning to like where this song goes. So yeah, it's super cool.
Jesse, anything else from you?
I loved it. Yeah.
Cool. I love it too. Thanks for listening. I think we can go on to the next song.
All right.